Hi, everyone. This is Lori from the Glenwood branch, and I'm here today with part 3 of my recommended reads for our summer reading program. Let's go ahead and get started. Our program this year is themed Imagine Your Story. And I've gone over the details in the first presentation, so I'm not going to repeat myself here. However, if you are interested in finding out more details, please reach out to me using the email listed at the end of the video. Here are a few titles from our reading list that I'd like to recommend. Each of these books has an electronic version in addition to the print version. I'm going to go ahead and share my webcam here. We'll take a look at the first book that I'd like to recommend today. It's Akata Witch. It's the first in the series. It's by Nnedi Okorafor. The main character, Sunny, lives in Nigeria, but she was born in New York City. Her features are West African, but she's albino. She's a terrific athlete, but can't go out into the sun to play soccer. There seems to be no place where she fits in. And then Sunny discovers something amazing. She is a person called a free agent who has latent magical power. And she has a lot of catching up to do. Soon, she's part of a quartet of magic students, studying the visible and invisible, learning to change reality. But as she's finding her footing, Sunny and her friends are asked by the magical authorities to help track down a career criminal who knows magic too. Will their training be enough to help them combat a threat whose powers greatly outnumber theirs? If you loved Harry Potter or you love a good versus evil and action-packed tale, you will love Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. I am a huge fan of this series. The first 2 books are fantastic. I think the 3rd book is on the way. And as soon as you start reading, I think you'll be a fan as well. The second book I'd like to preview today is The Owls Have Come to Take Us Away by Ronald Smith. This is a science fiction book, and the story follows Simon, who is obsessed with aliens, the Greys, the ones who take people and do experiments. When he's too frightened to sleep, Simon will listen to the owls hoot outside his window. Owls that seem to have the same eyes as the aliens he's obsessed with, dark and foreboding. Then something strange happens on a camping trip, and Simon begins to suspect he's been abducted. But is it real, or just the overactive imagination of a kid who loves fantasy books and computer games and is the target of bullies and his father's scorn? There are plenty of surprises in this book for both believers and skeptics alike in this scary tale from Ronald Smith. If you enjoy horror and suspense, The Owls Have Come to Take Us Away is the book for you. The third book is a nonfiction book, Caught, Nabbing History's Most Wanted. It's by Georgia Bragg and illustrated by Kevin O'Malley. Are you curious about history's criminals and their terrible crimes? Read this book to discover true tales from the past, such as Joan of Arc, Blackbeard, Jesse James, Rasputin, and more. This book is filled with illustrations as well as, after each profile, different facts and stats about each person that is profiled. I'm sure you'll learn a lot of new things. And I had no idea that there are 3 million ships at the bottom of the world's oceans. Also with Rasputin, his autopsy reports disappeared after the Russian Revolution. I did not know that. Another important thing at the back, if you're really interested in finding out more about any of these people, there's a really comprehensive bibliography to help you do some more research on any of the profiles in this book. So if you are interested at all in reading about History's Most Wanted, I definitely recommend Caught by Georgia Bragg and illustrated by Kevin O'Malley. The last book that I will preview today is called Other Words for Home. It's by Jasmine Warga, and it's a current day refugee story filled with hope. Jude, the main character, never thought that she'd be leaving her beloved older brother and father behind, all the way across the ocean in Syria. But when things in her hometown start becoming volatile, Jude and her mother are sent to live in Cincinnati with relatives. At first, everything in America seems too fast and too loud. The American movies Jude has always loved haven't quite prepared her for starting school in the US. And her new label of Middle Eastern is an identity that she's never known before. But this life also brings unexpected surprises. There are new friends, a whole new family, and a school musical that Jude just might try out for. Maybe America, too, is a place where Jude can be seen as she really is. Read Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga and discover this timely story about losing and finding home, and most importantly, about finding yourself. Let's take a look now back at the books that we have previously looked at. These were today's books that I previewed for you, and in previous presentations, I have shown you some fun science fiction books, graphic novels, biographies, books set in the classroom, books about monsters and witches, and faraway lands. So there's really something for everything on our reading list. But again, I just want to remind you, if you're participating in summer reading, you can be reading whatever you like. It does not have to come off our list, though of course, we would be happy if you use the library for your reading needs this summer. If you have any questions, please use the email on the screen. Thanks so much for watching today. Take care.